Alright folks, before we get to ShowTime Synergy again, I know I said this last time with the Batman Beyond, Justice Lords Beyond episode, but wanted to put this in front of the Jem and the Holograms number 2 review. My mom passed away, TFG1Mike here, and I'm not doing too well with it, but I just want to let everyone know this was recorded before, actually no, this one was recorded just after my mom passed. I needed something to lift my spirits, and we decided to go ahead and review IDW's Jem and the Holograms number 2. But, I'm putting on a brave face in this episode of the podcast, so hope everyone enjoys it, and the pull bag will be back eventually. I don't know when. I know we'll be back next week with Gates of Gotham to wrap up Batman month this year, but after that, no clue. Make your great escape into comics.
Jem here, and I've jumped inside the pull bag to discover the stories in my own comic, Jem and the Holograms, from IDW Publishing. Listen in as Mike, Aimee, and Nicole give their thoughts on the latest issue, who are all going to have a truly outrageous time inside the pull bag.
Welcome to The Pull Bags, Back Issue Classics. Join us as we talk about comics from yesteryear, from DC, Marvel, and more. So open your ears to hear our discussion of the older continuities, as the Back Issue Classics are also what's in the Pull Bag.
Hello and welcome to the Pull Bag. This is yet again another Back Issue Classics. This is Back Issue Classics episode 29. I am one of your hosts, TFG1Mike. Joining me is LadyWreck. Hello.
Hello.
And Nicole Hailstorm, Beatles Diva. Hello.
Aloha.
Whatever. I don't know.
I go by several names.
It's like
you
have 4 names, 2 of which are the same.
Well, I'm like the Doctor. I've got to reinvent myself, No. I'm still the same. I just reinvent.
Get your damn Doctor Who out of my gym.
Ooh, those fighting words.
So this is Back Issue Classics episode 29. We're going to be covering Jem and the Holograms from IDW Publishing, issue number 2. This came out a while ago, about a month ago or so, but, certain things have come up, and, we weren't able to get to it right away. So we have a crap ton of covers. I think this issue had 8 total covers. Mm-hmm. Besides me, and Aimee, did you get the box set for this one or no?
I
know Nicole did.
I did not. Sorry, I'm the downer on the podcast. I didn't do it.
The box set comes with covers A through E. Cover A is the regular cover that everybody gets. It's Misfits front and center with their instruments and all that good stuff, looking like they're rocking out. Similar to the issue number 1 cover where we had Jem and the Holograms doing the exact same thing. What do we think of the regular cover, Nicole?
I like it. I think it's fun.
Yep.
You get all the lovely ladies here doing what they do best. Love it.
Yep. What about you, Aimee?
I like it because it shows so much personality. I mean, you can pretty much kind of get an idea of each of the characters just based on what you're seeing. I mean, is this also a direct mirror, it seems, of the other group? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really like Pizzazz's style. She just looks so, bitchin'.
Yeah. She looks very, very evil.
I love it.
Yep. Now, I do have to say, when IDW put out the images for the solicits for the series, they put out solid Jem and the Holograms logos. Mm-hmm. So with issue 1, we had a pink logo that came out that was holographic. With these issues, we have a green... I mean, it's the Jem and the Holograms logo, except it's green because it's the Misfits.
Yeah.
It is also holographic. So that was one thing that I wasn't sure if they were going to do with every single issue. And I don't know if they're going to do it with issue 3 because... No, wait. Yes, I do know. Because I saw it at the comic shop. I just didn't pick it up because I had already had it digitally. And they didn't have any subcovers at the comic shop. So I think they are doing this holographic logo for every issue, which is fine. It looks good.
I like it. It's fun.
So for those of you who bought the 5-cover holographic foil box set, the additional 4 covers that we get are individual spotlights on the Misfits themselves. Cover B is Nicole's favorite character,
Yeah.
Roxy.
No, Roxy. My bad.
Yeah,
Roxy.
Roxy's the
Come on
good.
now.
Sorry, I was
You're
thinking
getting
the
ahead of
white
yourself.
hair. I was thinking Marvel's, Storm, one
It
of
happens.
the X-Men.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
bad.
And if Steven Tyler would redo his song and just rename it "Roxy's Got a Gun," that's what this reminds me of. It's like just pointing a gun at somebody. Aimee Meverson did the variant covers here for the Misfits, just like she did with Jem and the Holograms, and I love the classic looks. I really do. And no offense to Sophie Campbell on her original art for the series, but these classic looks are just so great.
Yeah, I like them. They did a great job on the covers.
Mm-hmm. Cover C is Stormer.
No, I've got it right. Stormer.
Yep. I like this one. It's interesting. I like how they've done similar profile shots to each one.
Yeah.
Where they have, the side profile of the face. Honestly, it's almost like mugshots, except the full body shot on the left isn't like looking straight at you. What do we think of the Stormer cover, Nicole?
Oh, she's adorable as usual. She looks really cute. You can tell she's like the innocent one of the bunch.
Yeah. Aimee, thoughts on the Stormer cover?
I like it. Very glamorous.
Yep. And then we get to cover D. Cover D is the lead singer.
Don't mess with her.
Pizzazz. Yeah, Pizzazz. And she is looking at the audience like it is a mugshot on the left with her body profile. And the one thing I've noticed throughout this, Roxy has brown eyes, Stormer has blue, Pizzazz has green, and the next one we'll get to here in a second has a different color. But what do we think of the Pizzazz cover?
I love it. Again, another good classic look.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. I like the fact that each one of the ladies on their side,
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of shows off their personality without actually saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Each one of them has their own little thing that they're doing. So.
Absolutely. And the final cover E for this box set is Jeddah, and they finally made Jeddah black. But she has purple eyes for some odd reason. Maybe they're contacts. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she could be that other lady that has violet eyes. It's a very, very rare thing. Liz Taylor had one. Yeah, Elizabeth Taylor had one. So, Jeddah's just as brilliant and just as unique.
Yes, that's very true.
And her hair is like cool. It's just like
kind of reminds me of like 80s and 90s Whoopi Goldberg hair.
Yeah.
Well, 90s specifically, now that I'm thinking about it, she played Buckwheat's mother in The Little Rascals.
Oh, God.
That's what Jeddah's hair reminds me of on the cover. The special covers that are in the box set featuring all the ladies for the Misfits, Aimee Meverson did an absolutely wonderful job on those. Just as Sophie Campbell does a great job on the designs for the comic itself and the regular covers. So we open it up. We get Showtime Part 2. We have a previously page. What is it with John and his previous pages?
I like it though.
I like it, but I don't know. It just feels a little weird. What I do love about this though is, whereas in the Transformers universe we have roll call, in this we have the guest list, and it lists all 4 of the holograms.
Well, I think the previous page works out great, especially if it's your first issue, and you want to get caught up. The thing is, the previously page doesn't go against the page count, regular page count.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem with it.
No, I'm not. I'm not really complaining. I'm just stating a fact. He's like, oh, John in his previous pages, he just loves those things. But I mean, I get it because this is this is going to be a 6-part arc for Showtime. Because I actually asked Kelly Thompson on Twitter because I couldn't remember um, how many parts the Showtime story was going to have, and it is a 6-part arc. So we open up with the Misfits singing and playing their instruments and all that good stuff. And what is so cool about this is how they are conveying the song, the lyrics to the song for us to read, to be able to hear what they're singing or read what they're singing. I love that.
This
That's
is gorgeous. Awesome. I was wondering how they were going to do this.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see it in the first issue, and they pulled it off beautifully.
No, we did see it in the first issue.
We did?
With Jem, yeah.
Oh.
Did that a couple of times, but I wasn't sure how it was going to play out with how the Misfits look and everything else. But I mean, no, these first 3 pages are just amazing.
It's cool. I love it.
You get that giant green eye from Pizzazz at the very end. It's like, wow, that's scary.
It's cool. I love it.
Thoughts on the first 3 pages here, Amy, with the whole song thing and how they presented it to us?
I like it. I like how they did it. I mean, it just makes it, you can definitely, I don't hear what they're saying, but I just see how the music is kind of surrounding everybody, and they're totally kicking it. I mean, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's so cool. I love the purple, green, and black. It's awesome.
Now, I will say one thing as the story progresses. As I remember when I first read this issue, and I'm like, oh, what is that? Why are they calling her that? They've nicknamed Pizzazz Piz, and it's just one thing that it just bugs me. It just bugs me.
I don't mind. It's just like any other nickname. So she's got a nickname for her nickname. Sounds like a Pizzazz thing.
A nickname for her nickname.
And, so we open this up and they finish their set because they're on Lindsay Pierce's video show. And we see as the action goes forward and Lindsay is talking to them, we see Twitter pop-ups.
I loved that.
It's so cool.
I love it, especially like when they start getting some, like, oh, I can't stand these guys.
Misfits are so overrated. Boo! Next.
Yeah. Hashtag
really
boo,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely awesome. And we also get introduced to Rio, who is a reporter or investigator or something or other. What do we think of Rio coming in, starting with the Misfits versus what we usually know him as?
I like it. I like the fact that it's a blank slate because it's a whole new world, Mm-hmm. I like the fact that I like what they're doing in the fact that, and we see later on in the issue where he kind of turns out to be he's like such a sweet guy,
Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for the hate to start.
He hasn't totally pissed me off yet.
Keyword there is yet.
Yes.
I'm giving him a chance. This first issue? All right, we're okay. But I have a feeling where we're going with him, and I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Let's just say that. And there shouldn't be anything like. I like how they're doing it. It's just, I like the fact that Roxy's already, or not Roxy. Jetta is already a member of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing the introducing a new. No, it's just to make it 4-on-4. It works.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So with Rio showing up, they start talking about. They're all arguing back and forth, and Pizzazz is like, "Why did nobody tell me Rio was here?" because he's like always here. And then Stormer's like, guys, what? Look. And they click on the video, and they see the Jem and the Holograms video. And this is pretty badass. Now, I said a second ago that they did do this in the first issue with the song thing. I think it was more of, it wasn't when they were performing, it was when like Jerica was writing the song that they had this kind of layout with the writing around the, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now that I'm looking at this and realizing, oh wait, yeah, Nicole's right. They didn't really do this in the first issue with the singing, but they did it in the way that she was writing a song, with the words going around the art and everything else. And
yeah,
this looks so good. It really does. Sophie Campbell has just outdone herself.
Mm-hmm. I'm liking it.
Absolutely.
It's very girly. It's just like,
Yeah.
It's very bubblegumish.
And that too.
Yeah.
I mean, the pink kind of does it,
Mm-hmm.
It's a bubblegum pink. Cotton candy pink.
Yep.
I just like the fact, before we go into the, further, I like the fact that, when we get Stormer saying, guys, and Pizzazz, how her fingers are. It's like, what? You're irritating me. Just like that. She's like, what?
Yep. Absolutely.
Feel her frustration in that expression that she's doing, and her fingers doing that thing. It's just like, jeez. I just laugh every single time. Pizzazz is such a character.
I had to laugh at a panel coming up because I so heard Patricia's voice for the original voice of Pizzazz. I so heard that voice with a line that's coming up here. So after they watch the video, Stormer, Roxy, and Jetta are all just kind of looking around, and Pizzazz is in the center here, and she just has, on the second panel here, she has this really, really, like, nail-biting, teeth-grinding...
It's a good way to describe it, yeah.
Contorted face thing. And in this moment, because how she has her hair, it almost reminds me of Dr. Blight from Captain Planet, because she always had that white stripe down her left eye covering up her deformed face.
I just love those two little skulls. I love the skulls.
Yeah, the skulls are awesome. There was a perfect touch to that. Because, it means death. I'm going to kill something,
And then Rio just laughs.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And Pizzazz says to him, something to say, Rio? Yeah, you guys are screwed. Rio, shut up! Like, I can so hear Patricia Alice Albrecht's voice when, the bottom left-hand panel when she says that. I can so hear that in my head. And she kicks Rio out, and Rio looks on his phone or whatever device he's got there. I assume it's his phone, and he finds Jem and the Holograms, and he's looking for the manager, Jerica Benton. Dun, dun, dun.
He doesn't even go that far, to be honest. He just goes outside of the door and just stays, like, on the outside of the door. Pizzazz's expressions in this issue are just brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I just loved every single time you saw her. I mean, she totally... And this is, this is very true of her as a character, even in the show. She commanded attention. And in here, even by the art, she still continues to command that attention. It's just great.
It's beautifully done. I agree.
It's just so awesome. And the way that Sophie Campbell does all the backgrounds compared to the artist drawings, like if we go to the next page where we meet up with Shayna and Kimber at the kitchen table, like the backgrounds in the shot, it's like Shayna's hair is like the focus.
I love her hair.
I'm not. You're right.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that in these two panels or 3 or 4 panels here,
Shayna's hair is the giant pop of color, where everything else that's a background, like, the whole counter, the floor, the refrigerator, like, it just blends in, and she just pops out of everything.
Oh, I loved her new hairstyle. It's so cool.
I love it too. It's great. I love this whole conversation that they're having. Oh, we've got so many followers. We've got so many votes. It just, it's so works for nowadays. I mean, this is like,
oh yeah,
this is they're using social media on here, whereas like it didn't even exist when the original show was. So I'm really, really glad to see that.
yeah, and that's kind of the thing about bringing Jem into the 21st century. What would Jem be like today? And
They'd so be like this.
Because you cannot ignore, well, most people can't ignore social media. This is what it would have been like,
Especially since, I mean, the fact that the Aja is still sleeping because she was working on their YouTube video until like the wee hours of the morning.
I remember when this. Well, actually, it was because for those that don't know, certain ones of us are on IDW's press list, and that entitles us to log on to their servers and get previews and get comics, advanced readings of comics. They usually have the giant IDW
logo on it, yeah.
Logo on it, so it's not like it's a free comic. It is free, but it's not like it's a, oh my god, I'm getting this for free kind of thing, because you still have to read around the logo. But I remember when the they usually come out on Thursday or Friday or whatever. I remember that Thursday, Amy had messaged me and was like, I have a comic for you. And I'm like, what? Huh? Don't throw any shoes at me. I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Like, read the comic, you'll find out.
It was early in the morning, and I messaged him, and he messaged me back, and I was like, yeah, because I figured that you'd be really tired.
I was sleeping. Don't throw any shoes at me.
Just don't throw any shoes at me.
I'm like, wait, what shoes? Where are the shoes?
It's like, you'll see. Just read the comic now. I was comparing you to Aja.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be throwing shoes at somebody, but
I don't know. Maybe you have a couple pairs,
no. So Kimber goes off and is gonna wake Aja up, and she goes in. She opens the door. She knocks and she says, "Aja." Aja's like, "Go away."
Go away. Dead to the
Aja, wake up. Go away forever. Aja, you gotta go up and look at the video notes. Votes. So many people are voting for us. Wing. Ah. Okay then, jeez.
Just throwing shoes at her.
Yep.
And the fact that Jerica comes walking up behind her. Jerica, oh my gosh! You're up! Come look at all our votes!
Yep.
They love us!
And they try to Jerica and Shayna try to convince Kimber to try to wake Aja up again. I said no.
Okay, I want to just say
she already threw a shoe at me.
They did make Jerica look a little bit older in this issue. I don't know. The last issue she looks so young. It might be the clothing. I don't know. But I think she does look a little bit older. She still doesn't look older than Kimber, but she doesn't look 14 here.
Well, right, but see, Kimber is taller than Jerica, so that's
what I'm saying. It's the face. It's the face is the thing.
Yeah.
It's not the height. It's the whole face.
I think the clothing actually did it for me this time round.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just, I don't know, just something about it just made her look a little bit older, a little bit more mature. Yeah. The fact that Kimber is like so in her face and like being really animated, even though she's taller, I think says a lot about her, because it just seems to me, rightly so, she's really excited about it, but she's not the only one that this is affecting, and not everybody else is like all the same way that she is. Now, just to compare this, I have two older boys. One's 12, one's 8. And the 8-year-old is very animated a lot, like even more so. I mean, it's just different personalities too, but he's the one that does that. So for me, I've always put a lot of energy and animation like that into the younger crowd. So it reads fine to me this time around, but to each their own. Especially since somebody, you get to the next page and she's sticking her tongue out at Jerica.
Yeah.
Jerica doesn't do that.
So one issue we did not bring up last podcast when we reviewed issue number 1 is we completely skipped over the fact that in the bio for Kimber it says that she likes girls. And, you know, hey, fine, if that's her choice, that's her choice. You know, more power to her. But that's just another one of the changes that the creative team here have done. It's fine.
I love it, yeah.
This is a whole new story. Like, you know, everybody's like, oh, this isn't the Jem I knew and grew up with. Well, of course it's not. I mean, there are certain things that are going to, you know, we said it in that first issue. There's so many things that reminded us of, you know, of the first few episodes in that first issue. But, I mean, you need to allow the creative team to create their story, and that's part of the story here.
My only thing is, the problem that I had with Kimber in the cartoon is that she was man crazy, and it got me a little crazy. I will have the same issue if she is lady crazy. I understand. Well, I mean, that I have no problem with that. But if she is going to go out with someone new every other issue, I will have issue with that.
I am wondering, because as of this recording, issue number 3 has already been out, and I've already read it. So what I'm wondering is if they're going to set up to do their own version of the band's breakup in some way because of who Kimber eventually has a crush on. That would be a whole new way to tell that story.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So we get Aja, not Aja, I'm sorry, Shayna and Jerica talking back and forth, and you know, Jerica is concerned because with those kind of numbers, life's going to get complicated. And Shayna's just like, well, it was always going to get complicated. You know, so, and off panel, we don't see this, but we see a bunch of shoes flying in. One that actually, oh no, it doesn't. For a second there, I thought it actually had a foot in it. But the strap shoe, the pink one at the very top, I thought it had and we hear, ouch, you will eventually run out of shoes, Aja. And Jerica and Shayna just laugh. So we get to, we see Mrs. Bailey. She is in this. And we see Bonnie. And do we see Ashley on this panel? Or no, it's just Bonnie.
Ashley's on the next page.
Yeah, that's right. She's at the bottom of the next page here. I like that they're incorporating them. I think that's cool. The only fear I have is I do not want Bonnie's character to just be, I need to find my father. I want them to take her care. Like, that can be part of it. I'm not saying I don't want them to do it. But, like, give her some sort of happy ending. Like, you know, something.
I hope they don't stay absolutely true to the original storyline.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like every episode that focused on Bonnie was about her searching for her dad.
Yeah.
You can do that for a couple, you know, maybe an issue or two, or no, maybe an issue do that, you know, have that be somewhat of, like, say, a B story focus, and then have it grow from there. Don't have her just constantly being the short round of the group.
Yeah.
Hey, it's an 80s reference. Come on now.
No.
Yeah, there you go. Very good.
Mr. Jones!
Or, you know, pull in some of the geeky stuff from the Goonies, and
there you go.
She's an inventor. She invents things. Slick shoes, are you crazy?
And we can clearly tell as the story progresses that Ashley is kind of introverted in this series. She's not the loudmouth, outgoing person that we knew from the cartoon. And she has those same green skulls as she's a smaller version of the same green skull that Pizzazz had earlier.
I love it. I love the little green skulls.
Brilliant.
It's going to be interesting to see where they take Ashley and Bonnie as the series goes along. So we finally get up to the fact that Rio has tracked Jerrica down, and he basically he asks her, "So why isn't it Jerrica and the Holograms? They're your sisters. You play an instrument. You have a great voice. Hell, you wrote the song. What am I missing?" And it's none of your business. That's private. Rio, he's a reporter in this, so I can kind of forgive his approach to her about this, but her reaction was just a little too harsh, I think.
I think she's having that reaction because this is like the first time where she's going to have to deal with questions like this. Mm-hmm. And she just came off a little harsh because that was her first reaction. I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah. It's kind of like, oh God, I can't believe I'm even going to reference this. It's kind of like Kylie Jenner in that lip suction story that came out a few months ago. So after she says it's none of your business, he essentially asks her out on a date. And they go back and forth. I like the chemistry between the two of them. Yeah. I like the interaction back and forth. I think it is really, really cool. It's interesting to see where it's gonna, where this is gonna take us.
These are not this is not the high school sweetheart kind of vibe that we're getting from the original show. This is their first meet, the first everything. Mm-hmm. First impressions, first. So I kind of like it because it's like he's like really into her and she's really kind of like tonight. Okay. She's not used to the attention, it seems. And that's cool. I mean, I like how the little shift in things like that. So hopefully it all works out and, Pizzazz doesn't get in the middle of it all.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know, but because obviously we're only 2.5 to 3 issues in, but I don't think this is going to be something that Pizzazz is going to try to. I don't think she's going to try to steal Rio. I think that's going to be what's her name's job if she ever gets introduced. Minx.
I think that's way down the line.
I know. So we go to this book signing where the Misfits are, they're not book. I'm sorry, not book signing.
Album signing.
No, CD signing. Where the Misfits are supposed to be, but they essentially just left Stormer there to do it because they don't care.
And that's a very Stormer thing to do.
Yeah, make sure everyone's happy.
Yep. So this is where Kimber and Stormer meet, and they kind of have their own chemistry. And this is kind of where the book ends because they're sitting there having coffee in the store and whatever, and Jetta's the first one. Well, all three of them see it, but Jetta's the first one that actually says something about it. Well, Roxy is too. And it just it ends with, "Come on, ladies, time to confront a traitor."
Oh my gosh, I love the look of Pizzazz's.
Yeah.
The shading that they've used on this, because it's extra dark around her eyes. It's just so cool. They did such a good job with the art in here. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That bottom panel is just so great. And then the rest of the issue, we have the Misfit bios, which we'll get into in a moment, but We have to talk about Captain Continuity when he was 10 years old. So last issue, in issue number 1, there was a letter from Kelly Thompson, the writer. In this issue, there's a letter from John Barber, senior editor, IDW Publishing. And, he goes on to talk about how he's always wanted a Jem comic and this, that, and the other thing and everything else. So, it's kind of nice that he went ahead and did that. Before I get into the bios, what did you guys think of the issue overall?
I think it's fantastic. I want more. I want to see where they're going with it. I want to, yeah. It's a continuation right from the first one into the second, and I want more of it. Give me more. I want to see where they're going. Absolutely. I like the little changes. I like how I like the characterization. I just like everything. I want more of it. So.
Nicole.
Of course, I'm loving it. I love how they showed off the music, the big splash pages with that at the beginning. It just, with both bands, it just totally gets you into the spirit of the comic. I like the introductions to the Misfits. You kind of see what their personality's like. You get a little bit more into Kimber. You see that she's really giddy, and especially over Stormer. I think that's just so cute that how she's just fell in love with her. I just thought that was adorable. And Pizzazz and all her reactions. The green skulls. I love the green skulls. So.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I really dig it. I think it's really cool. Like Aimee and Nicole have already said, the story pretty much, continues from before. The art is wonderful. The writing is great. I understand that there are diehard Jem fans, and I understand that people want the new Jem properties, the comic and the movie, to be what the show was. And sadly, we live in an age where that's not going to happen. The comic can stay a little bit more truer or a little bit more to the point of the show if it wants to, but it also has to grow and tell its own story. And I think they've done that so well so far, at the same time also pulling in some really good references and really good things that we remember from the show.
Yeah, it's very well put together. I don't see why anyone would have a problem with the new version. It's 30 years. Things are going to change. Yeah. I've changed in 30 years. Heaven forbid.
Well, it's a different world, too. I mean, we live, like, social media. The fact that they're bringing social media into this. I mean, you could say, well, technically, they didn't have that in the original. So if you're going to make a nitpick about the stuff that you don't like, you better nitpick about the stuff that actually does seem relevant, too. Because,
So what are we going to rate issue number 2, and then we'll talk about the bios and what.
I'm going to give it a solid 4. No, 5. There you go.
I was going to say 5 for me, because I love everything about it. And I'm glad they've introduced the Starlight Girls. And it's a 5 because Rio did not annoy me. And you know what? That's a good change. So it's worth it.
Just on the skulls alone, it should be a 5.
Exactly.
It's a 5 for me as well. Everything is fine. All cylinders are firing with this creative team. They take such care. I'll say this now, and I know I'm going to get blasted from the two of you for saying this. Ever since Dark Cybertron, Transformers have been hit or miss for me unless it was Margaret and Windblade. Unless it was that writer, that character. Combiner Wars so far is pretty damn good, but Days of Deception was just...
Yeah, I love that storyline.
I just didn't get into it. But, my point here is that 2 other IDW properties, or 2 other properties that they work on, Turtles, the main Turtles ongoing, and now this.
What? No love for My Little Pony?
Oh, I've never read it yet. Yet. Keyword there is yet. So with Turtles has been going strong for 4 years now.
Fantastic.
And
what? Turtles had a little hiccup there. It wasn't always perfect.
we can talk about that another day. But what I'm saying is, for the most part, it is pretty damn well good, good and everything else. And Jem so far, only 2 issues in, even though the 3rd issue is out already, is pretty much excellent on all fronts. So the bios for the Misfits, we have Pizzazz, real name Phyllis Gabor. She is 24 years old, 5'11". She is the lead vocals and also plays the guitar. She loves music, leather, and curly fries. She hates Jem and the Holograms and, well, too many things to list. Her guilty pleasure is extravagant spa days. Her prized possession is a 1951 Fender Stratocaster. She was voted most likely to totally dominate, and her deepest secret was in a beauty pageant. As a child, her talent was singing, but she sang only country songs.
Oh, yeah, that would absolutely be.
We need a Misfits country album.
Yeah.
We have Jetta, real name Sheila Burns. She is 22. She's 5'9". For instruments, she plays the bass, backup vocals, also plays the saxophone. She loves good pubs, vintage cars, bacon sandwiches, bowling, boxing, cookie dough, and Manchester United. Oh Lord, I can just hear all the British people just. She hates sneezing, umbrellas, weddings, and swans. All geese, really. Geese are total prats.
Awesome.
Her guilty pleasure is Target for everything. Prized possession, U.S. work visa. She really doesn't want to go back to the U.K. She was voted most likely to throw a punch. Her deepest secret is she comes from a poor British family, which is the opposite of what she tells everyone.
Awesome.
So they are keeping with the continuity of the cartoon show when it comes to certain characters.
Yeah, I like that. I'm all right with that.
Yep, absolutely.
That's what made her unique. So I'm glad that they're going to keep a few unique things to the characters.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have to say, I love all of the shoes.
I know, I was just looking at the shoes, too.
Give me some of those real-life shoes. Just saying.
Next up, we have Stormer. Real name is Mary Phillips. Age 20, 5'5". Her instruments are the guitar and backup vocals. Songwriter, also plays guitar. Loves old first edition books, fishnets, flowers, thunderstorms, Super Bowl dancing sharks. Okay, what the hell?
You don't remember the Super Bowl this year with the dancing sharks that Katy Perry had?
Oh,
and Left Shark was kind of off.
I'll have to check that out because I didn't see that. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
That's awesome.
gosh. Yeah.
Let's see. Super Bowl
They're
dancing
so
sharks.
cute. I bet she's thinking that. Like, oh, they're so cute.
Halloween and chai lattes. She hates doing laundry, going to the beach, mornings, red meat, and bears. She was voted most likely to be a famous writer. Her guilty pleasure is binge shoe shopping.
Woohoo! Somebody had to have it.
Prized possession, first edition of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Awesome.
Deepest secret, she's not sure she has what it takes to make it as a solo artist.
I sense some setup.
They are they're so setting up the band's breakup.
That's awesome.
Up next, we have Nicole Hailstorm, age 22, height 5'6". I'm sorry.
Actually, that is my height, so that's worse.
Awesome.
We have Roxy, real name Roxy Pellegrini, age 22, height 5'6", instruments drums, backup vocals, also plays guitar. Loves Neil Peart, boxing, nail polish, funny gross-out movies, dinosaurs, the Sixers, and mocha frappuccinos. She hates Twitter, Facebook, and stupid Tumblr.
Oh no! There's going to be so much rage.
Hangnails are the worst.
She basically hates all social media.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah. Yep. Her guilty pleasure is all-day movie marathons. Prized possession is a Neil Peart autographed drumsticks. Voted most likely to get arrested. I wonder if Kelly listened to one of our first episodes of Showtime Synergy when she was writing this.
That's awesome.
I don't think the podcast was out when she was writing this, but her deepest secret is that she is a high-functioning illiterate. Awesome. So that's also key to the show. And it says at the very back page, it says, next month, hot off their video debut, Jem and the Holograms perform at the Starlight Foundation's annual fundraiser, but the Misfits plan to bring them down.
Ooh, yeah.
Issue number 2, absolutely awesome. Just
a lot of fun.
Really,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Brilliant.
Just cannot wait. Cannot wait for more. So yeah. And at the very, very back, I'm gonna run through this really quick. There were 8 outrageous covers for this issue. The regular cover A, covers B through E, which we already talked about. There was a subscription cover that was done by Sarah Richard, which had Jem and Pizzazz
back to back.
Back to back.
That's what I was just reading right now.
There are 2 different exclusive plugged-in versions of the main cover. One is a black and white that says it's an exclusive. The other, the plugged-in edition, I still don't know. I've never held one of those, so I think all it is that the logo is black instead of the green. But I could not tell you if that's true or not, folks. I think we're going to get out of here. We will be back with issue number 3 at some point in the very near future, because we got to catch up on these things. But because before you know it, when we get to reviewing issue 3, issue 4 will be out. Any final words, ladies?
Keep it coming. It's rocking it.
Yeah. Yeah, bring on more Misfits. I want to see them cause commotion. I want to see them, somewhat almost get arrested for something.
Especially Roxy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. I love the girl.
Oh, boy. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here in the Pull Bag. Make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time.
Show's over, Synergy.
You've just heard the latest episode of the Pull Bag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for, and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at geekcastradio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.